Hello everyone and welcome back to PRKD Media's coverage of the 2023 Okthrowberfest at Mundaring. I'm Blake House and I'm joined with Connor Donnelly here in the commentary booth.
How you doing, Blake?
Yeah, good thanks. We're here for the back 10 holes of round 1.
Yep, we got a real fun 20-hole layout here at Mundaring for this event. Coordinated and organised by the TD, Patrick Wilson, who is on our card for this very fun round. Leading into this back 9, we've got Blake Houston and Paul Noisen sitting at 6 under par, and we have Patrick Wilson and Alex Kynaston sitting at 2 under par. So we'll have two little battles going on here for the start of this back 10 of the first round, and hopefully guys getting themselves into good positions to lead into round 2.
Sweet, let's get into it.
And right here we have hole 11. It's a 177 metre uphill par 4. This is one of the gold holes here at Mundaring. You're going to look to throw a right-hand backhand turnover shot up the hill to give yourself a look down this tunnel, to give yourself a look at the rare birdie, one that is solemnly picked up even in the MPO division around Australia.
Yeah, T-sign's going to say 177, but it's going to play all of 200. This first hill, quite tough to get up. You're looking to get right up to the right to give yourself that second shot if you want the birdie. Forehand is the play if you want to settle for the easy par. It is quite tough to birdie with the forehand. Hopefully Paddy's going to... It's look like he's put a move on that one.
Yeah, that should start pushing up towards birdie zone. Yep, gets himself over that knoll there. Should leave him a reasonably straight shot towards the pin.
Yeah.
And we got Blake stepping up here with... Oh, what is that in your hand? Dark blue.
I don't know.
Dark blue disc. I've never seen...
It might be a Rive, maybe.
Ah.
Actually, yeah, I think that's a Rive. That's before I put the Scorpius in the bag.
All right. And I can see why you may have taken it out of the bag. Didn't really do what you wanted it to there.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shank.
Pulling up into those short right-hand side trees. Alex looking to give this one a bit more width than yours.
Didn't see the Scorpius with my shot, but you'll see it with Alex's, and that's beauty. That's why you throw Scorpiuses, guys.
Yep, especially on this hole. Really suits the shape for that late turn on the faster disc. Blake with his recovery shot here. Just trying to push somewhere into this mouth.
Yeah, it wasn't as far as... Yeah, I didn't like it. It wasn't as far as what I wanted to push it. I wanted to push it in towards the trees. Not out where the shorter tee is, leaving myself a bit of a tough shot to get up and down for the par. Noisy's done well here after being pinched off after the drive. However, that spot is quite tough from there. It's pushed a little bit past the tunnel, but yeah, once again, he's still going to have a look to get up and down.
Yeah, will just require a technical upshot of some sort from there. Alex leaving himself definitely inside birdie range from here. Give himself some chance to get up and down.
Yeah, he's got that flex backhand. He's too much of a noodle to go the spike hyzer over the top. He doesn't need to go spike hyzer over the top if he can do that.
Yep, nestling behind that tree. He will be inside circle, putting for the birdie just on the back edge. And that's nice. That's up there in circle.
Yeah, that's sort of how the approach, how you plan to play the approach. You're just looking to throw one straight at that tree. Although the basket's tucked on the left, you don't really play much of a hyzer. It's more of a straight shot and leave yourself a 5-metre putt. That tree, excellent guide to just aim at that. And then, wow. All right, Alex birdie.
Yeah.
You said rare birdie, and there it is.
Yeah, I think we only saw maybe 3 or 4 of them throughout the entirety of the WA Open on this hole. So seeing someone pick it up in a field of 5 is always impressive to see.
Did you birdie it at WA Open?
I may have been one of those 4. May have been.
There you go.
Yeah. The only time I've ever birdied this hole, so yay. All right. Then we got Noisy tapping in here for the very frequent par that you see on this hole. And the card will walk away with no blemishes. 1 birdie, 3 pars. I think everyone will be pretty happy walking away from that.
Yeah, not bad grouping from the card there. Lead into hole 12, par 4, 188 metres. I feel like this is a gold hole. This will play as one of the easier gold holes on the course. You're looking to get a shot straight out the gap. That gap is actually more daunting than what it looks on the camera. You're looking to push... Oh, you can take it as far as you want. But the basket's tucked on the right. But yeah, you just want to be out on the fairway, leave yourself an approach. It is possible to get there in one, but you don't really need to.
No, normally this hole would have a large OB bubble for a WA Open or an Aussie Open level event. For this one, we have just got the fairway and the hole taking care of itself. No OB artificially other than the sand scrape down near the basket. Should allow for a bit more scoring for the top level players with that longer arm.
Paddy with the forehand. I think Paddy's a player who another player whose forehand has just like progressed insanely over the last year. He's able to rely on that, and he's able to put quite a bit on it. He throws it pretty far.
Yeah, I would definitely an argument for him being one of the stronger forehand players coming out of WA at the moment, especially in MPO.
Yeah, that was a roller there with the Star Destroyer. Didn't stay on cut as much as I would have liked, but it is way down there. I'll have a pretty short upshot.
Speaking of backhand rollers, Mr. Noisen
Get
throwing over the green.
Wow. Oh, has it recut?
And
No.
it's
Wow.
turned towards the basket, and he'll have 13, maybe 15 metres putting for the birdie,
Yeah.
which from as short as he was, I'm sure he'd be pretty happy with that result.
Yeah.
Someone who may not be as happy right there is Patrick Wilson, sawing his second sidearm off a little bit and not quite getting himself to circle one.
Yeah, that was my fault. I was talking his forehand up, and then that happened. That's on me, Paddy. Sorry about that. Commentator's curse. Alex will leave himself a look. I'll do the same there. But Paddy almost drains it, looks like, from quite far with that Spike Eyes putt.
Yeah.
Taking a bit of a page out of Boat McQuaid's book there.
Exactly. He's clearly been playing a lot of his first rounds with him on the mixed cards.
Yep.
A very iconic putting style has Boat, and so does Mr. Kynaston, who puts that one in for the birdie.
Yeah, you said unique putting style for Alex. I'd have to agree with that, as he changes his putting form every single week, as well as his putters.
It's a marvel. We've actually probably got the two most frequently changing putter options on this card. Both Patrick Wilson and Alex Kynaston change their choice of putter like the wind changes in Fremantle. It is absolutely unreal. But they tend to always make enough putts to
they make it work, and if they make it work, then no complaints had, except complaints from the other players after they just go and drop putts on them.
Yeah, no, it gets rather annoying when they're changing things and it's working.
Yeah, hole 13 here, downhill par 4. There's a few options. I find the better option is just throw a big hyzer out to the right, keeps the danger out of play. But if you want to push all the way down there, you can try for this straight gap. As it is downhill the whole way, if you throw a nice straight shot, the disc will glide all the way down to the pin, but you also got to be careful of a sand green just short left of the basket.
You won't need to worry about that sand green with that drive, as I believe you've just hit second available.
Yeah, it was a bit low and just sort of hit the long bushy stuff, and might need to worry about the sand green on my second shot, but certainly not off the tee.
No, definitely not. A little bit sawed off. And Noisy makes the correction off yours.
Ooh.
Actually, maybe overcorrecting, pushing wide, and he'll now have to compete with the mandatory on the right hand side. Did he
pass the Mando?
I think he's short of it.
Okay.
I think our cameraman was stood on the Mando. But so Noisy should have a shot to get back in and around, but will not be quite as straightforward as Pats. He put himself in a really good position there.
Speaking of really good positions, optimal lie for me here.
And are you ripping on an overstable 9-speed from that position?
Yeah, I think this is my Crystal Raptor, I think. But yeah, just trying to lay it up short of the green, leave myself an approach. Once again, it's still early in the tournament, 2-round tournament. It's only hole 13 of round 1. No moves need to be made yet. Just lay it up, take pars. Don't need to get myself into too much trouble.
Exactly. You can't win the tournament here, but you can definitely put yourself out of the run for it.
Absolutely.
It's going with one of his champion Firebirds there with a forehand in towards the green, and that should stick and leave him a nice 7-metre putt to take the birdie.
Yeah, it's definitely all right, Noisy hasn't passed the Mando at all. It's definitely a tough green. Very slidey, very skippy, thanks to the Mundaring rocks that you mentioned back on hole 4. Not easy to stick it next to the basket. Green definitely likes to move your disc wherever it can. Is that still rolling?
Yep, that's just pulled up in the middle of our screen, and he should be able to get routinely up and down for his par.
Yeah.
Definitely well done from that very awkward position. don't ask Tim Bowen about that position. He will tell you about how much he does not like it being near that Mando. Sorry, Tim. Love you, mate. But, yeah.
What parked media coverage does Tim not get shouted out on? He has to have a shout out.
Oh, it's every coverage in Australia has to have a mention of Tim Bowen, or else it's not official.
Yeah.
That's the hallmark
right.
of a true event.
Yeah.
Blake throwing that.
Yeah, there you see how discs start to stand up. That stood up. It's still nice and close, but lucky that was only a 4-speed and not coming in with the driver, because the driver, a lot more speed, it's just going to stand up and keep rolling down that hill.
Yeah, the camera angle really doesn't do the justice to just how much slope there is along this green. And there also is some slimy, mossy, slippery stuff hanging around a little bit, which tends to accelerate that speed of the disc on the way down the hill.
Yeah.
It's quite regular. You'll throw a nice drive that looks to be in circle 1, and it'll end up down near the next set of tee pads. So
that was a beautiful putt for Alex. He'll be taking his birdie. He's at 5 under. Where'd that come from? He's just got a few in a row, and now he's chasing down me and Noisy when he was 4 strokes back after the front 10.
Yeah, and he's now only 2 strokes off the pace.
Yeah. Could have been 5 if I missed that.
The joys of a turkey.
Not 5.
What a turkey will do
1.
for you around. And Noisy.
This Noisy for par. That's right. He had that. It'll be a good scramble behind that Mando tree. Wow. Okay. Straight off the band.
Picks every part of metal on that basket and hits it in one go.
As you do. If it's there, why not use it?
It's a veteran play from the well experienced man. Up here we have hole 14, a par 3. I think we've got 70 meters. Either looking at a forehand or a backhand turnover. One of the more gettable holes on this course. Alex going a little inside of the basket, jumping about chain high, giving it a nice bid.
Yeah, we'll be looking at, once again, another birdie putt.
And Blake throwing a nice shot in, and wow, that barely missed the basket. I thought it looked good from the tee pad on the day, and I'm glad we got to see the opposite angle of that. Giving it a good run. Got Noisy here with...
Might it be a fireball?
I think it's his fireball, yeah.
See if it's got that. Oh, has it got...
It's definitely his fireball.
Bit of wobbles on it, but it's definitely got that late stability.
Yeah, maybe a little bit more Anheuser out of the hand than Paul would have liked there, but a reasonable result will give him a putt for the birdie. And the 4th forehand in a row. You see Pat Wilson.
I'll get a skip, sit down.
I think that'll pull him up near that tree along the basket. Yeah. And gets aggressive.
Bit high.
Trying to take me out in the background filming there.
It is a downhill putt. It's definitely, once again, camera doesn't do it justice. It is quite scary. Noisy's not phased though. He's going to go and make that 11 metre putt down the hill.
And we got Alex with the reverse angle of what Noisy's just made, about 11 metres up the hill.
Yep.
Little twig on his right hand side that may be getting in the way, but reasonable option.
Whoa, it almost caught in that low left pocket of the cage, but yeah.
Wow, more than 50% of the disc was inside the confines of the cage. And this basket, it's look, I don't want to say too much about the targets that we've got here. They generally do their job, but for whatever reason, hole 13's gained a bit of a reputation for not liking to catch some stuff.
Why would you say that?
I don't have any personal vendettas.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I don't suggest that anyone listening to this coverage goes and watches round 3 from WA Open. Do not watch it. It's not worth your time.
All right, hole 15 here. It's a par 3. It's usually a par 4 on the white course, but we're going to play the par 3 here as the drone almost hits the golf flag. It's a big turnover backhand, sort of straight-ish. You want to land it pretty flat. Once again, it's another scary green. There's not OB long, but you want to make sure to get it over that sand green.
Oh no, my
You're throwing your grip EQ buzz there, I believe. Yep. Of course, he's throwing a mid-range 120 metres over OB, as you do casually, and then Noisy with a normal human play, throwing a faster fairway driver, I believe here. Getting that nice piece of turn, pushing past the green and skipping right up towards the pin.
That is straight from the textbook. Yeah. That's perfect.
That's a great shot from Noisy there. He'll be very happy with that one, as you can see.
He knows it, yeah. Alex playing the Flex Draco here. It's a little bit low. It's got to get up.
It's on the green, and it stayed on the green.
There we'll see the Mundaring sand greens come into play. Very grippy. Complete opposite to the rest of the ground. Those greens, if you land it flat on the greens, it'll just grab and it'll stick. It's going to lose all its speed. And fortunately, we have a beautiful obstacle on our course. But unfortunately, it's going to cost you quite a couple of strokes if you're slightly off.
Yeah, and Alex will be trying to get his path saved from there and doing a little bit of damage to his putter on the way through. I don't know if he was quite happy with that bid.
Yeah, bit of a taco there. Sorry, Alex, got to shout that out just in case you didn't see it.
Paddy gets his putt up and down. He'll be tapping in his 3, and the birdie bid from Blake just coming up a little high left, stalling out and leaving you with a nice tap in to take your par, which is not a bad score on this hole at all.
Yeah, I can't complain.
When traditionally a 2 would be considered an eagle on the classic layout.
Yep.
We've got a couple of cleanups here. Blake in for par.
This is noisy for the birdie.
Yep.
After that beautiful shot off the tee, big flex with his driver. And he's going to go ahead and take that 2, tied up with myself at 8 under.
Yeah, and Alex taking the bogey, dropping himself a couple of strokes back after only being 1 stroke off the pace up 2 holes ago, but he'll still be there at 4 under par. Still be able to push and charge at the late end of this round. Here we've got hole 16. It's a par 4, 173 metres. The traditional, what is now the new blue hole 15 on the course. You want to throw, there's 2 tunnels that you want to play into up the right-hand side. One short that the drone's just flown up, and another tunnel down the back towards the 3 white trees in the distance. You want to get to either of those landing zones and be able to throw any kind of shot up the hill. If your first shot's good, it's a reasonably simple up and down. But if your first shot's not in place, good luck getting a birdie.
Yeah, that was a beautiful shot from Noisy once again, but I think he'll find he's a bit pinched off for the second shot. He's right in the middle of the 2 tunnels. You can see those 3 trees up on the right. They're probably about 140, 150 metres off the tee. If you can get one to there, it's open around the backside. Or you can play about 50 metres shorter of that and play to the early tunnel on the right. Unfortunately, Noisy's in the middle, so he's going to have a bit of a tough up and down.
And you here have no problem navigating and finding that back end tunnel. Basically how you would draw it up to cut behind that tree, nestle its way into the lower ground of where the green will be.
Yeah, unless there's a headwind, I really like playing the backside on this hole. I find that it's a smaller tunnel, but yeah, you do have to throw it pretty far to get there first, but it is pretty open if you find yourself all the way up there.
Yep, a lot less danger on that backside tunnel than the front side.
Here's Paddy with the Opto Diamond. I actually packed this order for him. He got a Diamond and a Prodigy F7, I believe. He wanted to learn how to throw rollers, and I just said, buy a flippy disc, start by throwing it flat, let the disc do the work. And he does just that. He throws it, he loves it. He has a big smile on his face, he throws it flat, disc does the work, and goes a mile, and he's found himself in a decent position.
Yep. Alex getting his second shot off there, not quite where he would have liked, and Noisy running into a similar sort of problem. When you're not in the right position on this hole, it becomes very, very awkward.
Whoa.
And Paddy skipping it over the basket.
Wow.
There. For
Yeah,
the
looked
eagle
like it,
bid.
yeah.
Yep. That's a great run there. And Blake jumping up, getting it up near the pin to tap in a nice easy 3. It's not a very good committed eagle run there, mate.
No, it wasn't. Look, it was a half bid, but you don't make uphill eagle putts if it's a half bid. So, oh well, birdie's fine. Nothing wrong with that. It's a tough hole. Definitely one that not everyone's going to get.
No, definitely not. I believe we played this at League Day 2 or 3 weeks ago now, and I don't think there was a single birdie recorded.
Yeah. Unfortunately, there for Noisy. Hit that tree on the left. He had a bit of a gap, but by no means was that an easy shot. Gives it a bid, though, for the par.
Yep.
A little bit high. Not much you can do there.
Then we got Pat from edge of circle coming back
Ooh.
and hitting the exact same part of the basket as Noisy has.
Yeah, he must have almost skipped that in.
Yeah.
To be long right like that. He won the eagle more than me.
And the advantage of you not wanting the eagle is you get to take that nice handy birdie that will get you to 9 under par.
Yes.
Alex tapping in his par putt.
I do want to give a shout out to the catch cam here, following us around. I believe you made a couple payments to him.
Yep, he was paid in KFC lunches on both days, and also one beer at the end of the ultimate event.
That's what we like to see.
Yeah, all I had to do was pick him up, pay him in food and alcohol, and he's come to rock up. Thank you very much, Harrison. We appreciate you coming out and doing this for us. Would not have been possible without having him out there. So
makes the job a whole lot easier. So thanks, mate. Hole 17 here. One of the newer holes on the course. It's from the blue layout. Hole 17, downhill par 3. There's a couple of shots you can play, but there's really only one line you can take into the basket. It's more of a straight shot, which has a high as a finish, and you've got to navigate some low ceiling into Mundaring's infamous elevated basket.
Yeah. You may also see some players choosing to throw a nice straight low shot, looking to skip under the tree canopy rather than pushing through the gap on the right-hand side. Tends to be what people will choose to do, as it's an easier shot to execute, though may not quite get you as close to the basket.
Yeah. Any idea what Paddy's throwing here?
That, I believe, was his captain's Raptor, based on the colour. But the flight did not tell me that. So,
yeah,
reasonably straight.
He's got a putt. I think me and Paddy threw very similar shots there. We'll find ourselves edge of circle left. As we kept it low, but yeah, we shanked it a little bit left, but we still have a putt. Alex makes the mistake of leaving it a little bit high.
And a little inside of that outer right-hand side avenue into the basket. It's a very common mistake on this hole.
Yeah, I think he'll have a jump putt through the trees to get up and down for his par. I don't believe he'll run that. It's a very scary green, downhill, elevator basket, but you never know. Alex would be one of the more aggressive players in the country.
Yeah, if someone's going to run it, Alex is probably the one who'll give it a crack.
Especially since he's not... Oh, here we go. He's going to give it...
Oh, wow.
Wow. Of course he ran it. That doesn't surprise me.
I was there on the day, and yet I was still expecting that to go in. That just tells you what you need to know about Alex's putting. Blake, over the grass tree, a style of putt you've become a little bit famous for.
Yeah. I mean, made a couple at WA Open over grass trees, but can't make them all. Paddy, there you go. He's a bit closer than what I said. He was probably about 7, 8 metres there, but no easy putt in the elevated basket. He'll make the birdie, and so will Noisy Noisin.
2 great shots and 2 good putts from them two there. And then we'll have the 2 younger players on the card looking to clean up their pars and get away scot-free.
Little trick out the basket there for Alex. Took his time to get that one. Probably wasn't quite that happy that he didn't make that birdie. He was probably expecting to make that.
As you should from 35 metres away with trees. Yep. Here we get onto what is hole 18 for the day, our traditional hole 17 gold. It's a 116 metre par 3 over the creek. The creek itself is playing OB. And
Paddy, Horizon Cloudbreaker 3? Yep. Cloudbreaker 2?
Cloudbreaker 3?
Horizon Cloudbreaker, we'll just say that.
Something stamped.
Yep.
It's...
I don't know. I think it's the Cloudbreaker 3. I don't know, because like Discmania, they had the new release. I feel like because it's Discmania, it's got to be Cloudbreaker 3.
We'll call it
whatever.
It's a Cloudbreaker.
Yeah, it's a Cloudbreaker,
and unfortunately, it has gone OB into the creek. He did catch some trees on the right, going for the stalling hyzer shot. Noisy there,
just over the creek. He'll leave himself birdie putt. That's a great shot from Noisy.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of right-hand, backhand hyzers sort of pushing out towards the trees on the right-hand side, but stalling out before it gets there. That'll sort of leave you a nice fall in towards the pin. Blake going a little bit inside, and a bit inside.
Yeah, that was a lot of bit.
Yeah.
That, it didn't come out when I wanted it to, and I'll pay the price. It's short left. I got to scramble to get up and down. Actually, no, that shot got stuck in the very top of a tree. I do remember that. It was probably about 20 metres high in one of these gums up near the red tails from Mundaring. So I got a bit of work to do. Alex not liking it out the hand, but looked better than mine. Looks come up short left, though.
And does clear the creek there, I believe.
Rule of verticality here. I won't be taking a stroke. We aren't in California.
Thankfully, we don't have those silly rules over in Australia. Though it wouldn't surprise me if we decide to incorporate something.
Yep. Alex with the tomahawk there, and is he
Progresses.
playing from the same lie here? It looks very similar.
I think he progressed about 3 meters on that first shot, and maybe another 7 or 8 there. Not having the best of moments on this hole is Alex, but I'm sure he'll be working hard to get that straight back in and get some more birdies later on. He'll be his putt for the bogey.
Yeah.
Just
A little bit right. It's a bit of a blemish there for Alex, but he's coming to the end of the round. He's going to have time to have a think about the last couple of holes, think about the mistakes, and hopefully come out strong for the second round.
Yeah, look, it can always be tough when you have a misrelease on a hole that you back yourself to normally be around the circle on. If you're generally not used to scrambling on this hole, you can be surprised by what dangers you find yourself in on that short left side. So Alex becoming a victim of that, unfortunately, but cleans up with a nice putt for his double bogey.
Yeah, how was that creek jump from myself? Couple meters to clear. If you don't have a cart and you've got the jump, it wasn't a far jump, but if you can't be bothered walking around to the bridge, then just go ahead and jump across the bridge. Hole 19 here. Can't see the basket on the drone footage, but it's a temporary hole. We've carved out a tee pad. It's down near the basket of the previous hole. We play up the hill towards the club rooms and off to the left to the blue tee of normal hole 18.
Yep, very fun little hole that was brought out and tested for this event.
Little hole.
Okthrowberfest, well known for taking some new holes and concepts and introducing them. Hole 17 was originally tested at Okthrowberfest in 2021. Fun little fact for you there. And then we have a fantastic shot there.
Just wanted to spin the catch cam around. So, yeah, hole says 156, but this hill, when you're walking from 17 to 18, you feel it afterwards. You got to catch your breath. So, playing up this hill is certainly no easier. An absolute slog, and it takes 2 shots to get there.
Absolutely, playing a lot closer to 200 meters than the 156 displayed. That uphill at Mundaring is brutal. And everyone getting some very strong drives out. No real issues. No one getting in eagle range as no one would be expected to. Noisy throws to just a little bit inside. It's on the edge of circle. He'll have a putt there for his bird.
Yeah. His putt's been looking good.
Yeah.
I wouldn't count him out of that one.
Absolutely not.
Oh, probably a good kick there, actually. Scary putt, though.
Yeah, getting a little bit straighter than he would have liked, but the tree helps out.
Spiking one in.
Yeah.
That's great.
That's how you want to play it. And then you've got a rather easy shot into the green here. And yep.
Yeah, it's all right. Got caught up on some little bushy bits. Might be in my way for the putt.
Should still be within the bullseye or just outside.
Yeah.
Something we would expect to get made here. As Noisy not quite able to convert on his birdie look.
His putt, death putt, cash. Wow, great birdie there for the course designer, the hole designer.
That is a big dog kind of birdie right there.
Yep. Alex with a similar putt, a little bit shorter. Yeah.
Cleans it up very nicely.
Great 3. Yeah, this hole, it's definitely one, if you got the distance, you want to be getting the birdie on. Unfortunately, I didn't there. Not that happy about it either.
A little bit uncommitted there on the putt. Coming out a touch early.
Yeah.
Things happen when you're 9 under through the round. There's not as much pressure on making the putts. So sometimes you might not make them all, but you walk away with a par. No damage done.
Yep.
Still sitting at 9 under par through 19 holes. And we step up onto hole 20. It's a par 3, 70 metres. We've got an island flagged out around the basket here. Very tight on the short side. Regularly quite an easy hole, but with this OB island, it made it play very, very tough. Was it playing as a hazard, I believe?
Yeah, it was playing as a hazard.
Perfect.
Whoa, straight on the pole. Didn't roll away. He'll go ahead and take that too.
Yep, that's a bit of love for the TD there. It's nice to have a bit of a mix-up from the earlier bad fortunes he had.
Yeah.
Alex throwing that forehand firebird. to no further away than about Bullseye's Edge, 3 or 4 metres. 2 great shots to start. Let's see if Noisy can keep up with that.
Yeah, this OB is really tight on the short side. It's designed to make sure the player pushes one past the pin to leave himself with a challenging, scary putt, rather than, Noisy just scraping out of bounds left there, unfortunately.
Yeah, not quite getting the turn on that praxis that he was throwing there. Got another forehand from Mr. Blake Houston. Chips wide. It's stabling up. Will it snake through the trees?
Yeah,
it does, but not enough.
It just got caught up, which was, it can happen, but it was quite surprising. The fact it was moving left to right and just hit and stopped, but oh well.
Yeah. The OB line on the front edge of that bush is always a contentious point of discussion. I know personally I like to see that bush be played as inbounds, and if you have to make a putt from inside of it, you can give yourself a good crack and try, but
use those natural OBs that Mundaring has to offer.
Yeah, doesn't make too much difference with that line there.
Yeah, I feel like this hole does need the artificial OB and the island, especially for a hole like this, an easy hole to finish up. But those bushes, we usually see them played as safe, offering players the chance to make a nice putt to finish their round.
Yep, and here we have everyone's cleaned up there. And we've had Noisy and Blake clean up their pars, and Alex and Patrick clean up their birdies, and that will leave them sitting at the end of round 1 with a tie for first at 9 under par with Paul Noisen and Mr. Blakehouse next to me. We have a sneaky jump up from the chase card. Rob Lim is 7 under through the first 20 holes, so he'll be joining our lead card coverage for the second round, and they will be accompanied by Alex Kinniston sitting at 4 under par. And Patrick Wilson sitting 1 stroke off the lead group will unfortunately find himself on the chase car, but I'm sure he'll be looking to put together a strong round for round 2 and see if he can get himself back up on the podium by the end of it.
Yeah, a couple of hot scores, a couple of guys in the chase. Should be a fun round 2. Keen to get into that. Make sure to come and join us for round 2 for the final round coverage of the Okthrowberfest 2023.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. See ya.